Welcome back, Swifties. Today I'm checking out the heavily requested loml. I'm assuming this stands for something, which is probably going to become apparent, right? Let's get into it.
Who's gonna stop us from waltzing back into rekindled flames? If we know the steps anyway, we embroidered the memories of the time I was away. Stitching, we were just kids, babe. I said I don't mind, it takes time. I thought I was better safe than starry-eyed. I felt a glow like this, never before and never since. If you know it in one.
Man, she's got some bloody good lyrics, hasn't she, man? Like, some of the lines, I mean, the opening line of a song is so important, isn't it? And I mean, in my own writing, sometimes I get that right, I feel, and then other times maybe I can work on it some more. But I mean, what an opening line that is for this. It's just,
Who's gonna stop us from waltzing back into rekindled flames?
who's going to stop us from waltzing back into rekindled flames? What a great opening line, man. Because it's such a all encompassing image or idea, isn't it? Because the obvious thing is that, yeah, she's talking about a love affair, or or a lover, or a romantic relationship, but it applies to everything, in your life, to all kinds of relationships, to all kinds of behaviours, or it can anyway, So what a beautiful, beautiful way to put that.
If we know the steps anyway, we embroider.
If we know the steps anyway, it's that we're habitual creatures, aren't we, human beings? And it's and discipline and routine are important for progression, but also it's easy to get stuck in ruts, isn't it? From the day to day, you get up in the morning, you go to your work, come back, you're tired, you eat your food, you spend a short amount of time, whatever it is, with your family, watch something, God knows, and the cycle repeats, and if you want something more from your life, if you want something better from your life, I find, especially as you get older, it is easier to fall into those ruts and more challenging to get out, isn't it? But get out, you must, man. You must get out, and you must identify the things that you're doing that are holding you back, the things that you know are holding you back, that you can change, that you would change, no matter how small, and build on that day by day. It's this is probably, I guess, quite a deep digression from perhaps the subject matter of this song, but man, those lyrics are just. This is what I love, I suppose, about Taylor Swift. Is the lyrics. That's my primary thing that I'm enjoying about her. is just some, especially I guess this later stuff, which everyone you've said is that would happen, and I guess that makes sense as the more mature she gets, the more mature I'm getting, of being of a similar age.
The memories of the time I was away, stitching, we were just kids, babe. I said I don't mind, it takes time. I thought I was better safe than starry-eyed. I
thought, well, she mentioned just kids in one of the lyrics there. Would that would be like a double meaning, from well, taken on face value, but I suspect it might be a reference to the Patti Smith book, Just Kids, and I thought I was better safe than starry-eyed. That's a great line as well, isn't it? I think I've always felt, I've always been a dreamer, and an eternal optimist, and I've always been starry-eyed, I suppose, aiming at the stars or looking at reaching for the stars. And I have frequently, I suppose, sacrificed safety on my journey through life in many dimensions, just keeping my eyes on that prize of those stars, and then inevitably, it's about balance, isn't it? It's about balance, and I find that's what I'm learning. It's as Ren mentions in High Ren. It's an eternal dance. It's an eternal dance between the dark and the light. Through it's the yin and the yang. That symbol, and the order and the chaos, and the place you want to be is walking the line between that black and that white. And it takes constant work and effort because that's just what life is, I think. But anyway, I definitely am a person that is prone to extreme behaviours. I think I always have been, and I've rolled the dice, I suppose, taking large risks with my life and my situation, and eventually I guess some of that caught up with me, and then I guess I perhaps then retreated too far into like comfort and to safety and just thinking, trying to shut everything out, which is why for the last decade I have, metaphorically been in the wilderness, been almost in hiding. But now I've done the shadow work, continue to do the shadow work, and now I'm ready. I'm back to make my contribution, to the world, which is wonderful, isn't it?
glow like this, never before and never since. If you know it in one glimpse, it's legendary. You and I go from one kiss to getting married, still alive, killing time at the cemetery, never quite buried in your suit and tie, in the nick of time. You low down boy, you stand.
So this is about, I'm gonna have to take this back a bit to absorb some of those lyrics some more.
Like this, never before and never since. If you know it in one glimpse, it's legendary. You and I go from one kiss to getting married, still alive, killing time at the cemetery, never quite buried in your suit and tie, in the nick of time. You low down boy.
So this is about lost love, as as it seems a lot of her work it is about, which it's cool, isn't it? That's perfectly understandable, man, because that is as it is universal in experience, isn't it? That connection you long for with other people or with another person. That longing or that desire, that need to be understood, or to be seen. And so what are some of the theories on which relationship this is about in particular? Because the vibes I'm getting, I suppose, is perhaps it was a great relationship that perhaps ended for reasons other than cheating or screaming at each other or falling out or whatever it is, and it's never. But it's never buried, is it? Is it one of those lines? What? There's a line back here, I guess, wasn't there? Let's find it again.
Like this, never before and never since.
Felt a glow like this.
If you
Never before and never since.
In one glimpse, it's legendary. You and I go from one kiss to getting married.
Yeah, so she's extrapolating, imagining the future far out, never felt this before or since. And there's a danger, isn't there, man, of looking at the past through rose-tinted glasses, and it prevents you from moving forward. And perhaps, like at the time, you've never felt this feeling with this person before or since, but the beauty of life is that we can move forward, we can continue to move forward, and if we continue to learn and to grow, then we become more, don't we, and then in the future you come across, if you're fortunate, and if you'll come across somebody who is better for you, more perfect for you, because that's physics, right? That vibrations attract to the same frequencies, that they... Is that physics, or is that just a romantic thing that I've heard that perhaps isn't true? But I think it is, man. And there's a great John Lennon demo called Real Love, I think, and the lyrics in that are great. They're all my little plans and schemes gone like some forgotten dream. Seems like all I really was doing was waiting for you. Yeah. This is taking me forever, isn't it, man? I'm only like a minute into it.
Still alive, killing time at the cemetery, never quite buried in your suit and tie, in the nick of time. You low down boy, you stand up guy, you Holy Ghost. You told me I'm the love of your life. You said I'm the love of your life. About 1,000,000 times.
So yeah, you said that I'm the love of your life, and because that's like, is that a statement when you say that to somebody, or is it a promise? Because can be true, can't it? At the moment, up until that moment, and then, especially with young love, isn't it? When you're young, you're not done yet. You're not a complete person, and perhaps we're not done until we're really old. Or perhaps even in the next life, or until we discard this mortal coil. But people change, don't they? And people grow apart. So I guess the question I'm pondering in my head is it a lie? To say that, is it a promise? Is it possible? To make that sort of promise, particularly when you're young. I think once you're older and you understand yourself, I want to say to a certain level, but I don't know how you would gauge that level. Maybe some people just mature quicker than others. Maybe it took me a little while. It's fascinating stuff to ponder, though, isn't it? Isn't life brilliant? Isn't art brilliant? Aren't songs brilliant? Isn't poetry amazing and incredible? Aren't the seasons brilliant? Just what a fabulous privilege it is, to have this human experience.
Who's gonna tell me the truth when you blew in with the winds of fate and told me I reformed you, when your impressionist paintings of heaven turned out to be fakes? Well, you took me to hell too, and all at once the ink bleeds. A con man sells a fool a get love quick scheme.
Oh, that's a good line as well, isn't it? Good imagery that she paints, man. And you've still got to. I guess the universe just keeps sending. My experience, anyway, is that the universe will keep sending you the same or similar lessons, until you learn, until you get a bit wiser, perhaps. And sometimes, I guess, you can be susceptible to people because, they're very charming, or sociopathic, or, for want of a better word, devils walk among us, and so perhaps there is no foolproof way to be immune to that, but with experience, with heartbreak, with I guess living with that naivety, perhaps. To begin with, you can learn and grow and become stronger, and that's the most important bit, isn't it? It's as painful as these experiences are. I believe that we choose to come here to have this human experience, to learn and to grow and to experience, and I guess you should always try to avoid the path of bitterness. Not that I'm saying that's what Taylor is doing here. It can be quite cathartic, can't it? And I'm not sure how much she holds on to these feelings, but in moments of turmoil and anger and high emotion, as an artist, it's only right that you use that to create something beautiful, but also, to exorcise demons from your soul.
But I felt a hole like this never before, and ever since. If you know it in one glimpse, it's legendary. What we thought was for all time was momentary.
So I was wrong. I was wrong in the beginning, wasn't I? I saw it as a relationship that wasn't. That wasn't the. It ended because it was a lie, right? Or he was lying, which isn't the way I took it. Which is interesting, isn't it? Because I suppose another beautiful thing about songs is that we see. Another beautiful thing about life is that we see everything through the lens of our own experience. Everything is coloured by our memories and our experiences, and we don't see the world as it is truly. We see the world as we are, and it's beautiful to know that's the case, because then you can practice being still, and sitting back and observing more, and understanding more.
Still alive, killing time at the cemetery, never quite buried. You cinephile in black and white, all those plot twists and dynamite. Mr. Steal your girl, then make her cry. You said I'm the love of your life. You shit talked me under the table, talking rings and talking cradles. I wish I could unrecall how we almost had it all. Dancing phantoms on the terrace, are they secondhand embarrassed that I can't get out of bed? Cause something counterfeit's dead. It was legendary. It was momentary.
The soundscape there with that deep, I don't even know what it is, an organ or a string or something that affects you on a different level, doesn't it? I mean, I'm not going to rewind it again, but just the line that stuck out for me is, Mr. Steal Your Girl, which is it's bringing to mind something Bob Marley said about awakening the love in a woman. He said, "There's no greater coward." Paraphrasing a lot probably here, but he said something along the lines of, "There is no greater coward who awakens the love of a woman with no intention of loving her." And yeah, got to agree. Because I guess you can. I mean, there's two ways to look at it, isn't there? That we should be compassionate, and all these people that do these horrible things, they're just damaged too. From the reason they're like what they are is because of their childhoods or whatever it is. Is it nature? Is it nurture? But then you also got to think, that some people are just. Well, some people are just. I don't know if I should be saying the word, cunts. But and you've got to protect yourself as well, haven't you? You've got to look after yourself. But also, you've got to be brave enough, to and vulnerable enough and open enough to love again. But I mean, once bitten, twice shy, but it's, I don't know, man. I don't know. Do you know?
It was unnecessary, should've let it stay buried. Oh, what a valiant roar, what a bland goodbye. A coward claimed he was a lion. I'm combing through the braids of lies. I'll never leave, never mind. A field of dreams engulfed in fire. Your arsons match your somber eyes, and I'll still see it until I die. You're the loss of my life.
That's some big words, you know. You're the loss of my life, as opposed to the love of my life, right? Love of my life. Loss of my life. Got it. Got it. Yeah, man. Wow. Cool stuff, man. A long one, man, but well, if you've watched to the end to this far, I'm sure you don't mind it, you know. My ponderings and that, you know. And, yeah, I enjoy some good lyrics. Cool stuff, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great week. Look after yourselves. Lots of love to you. I'll see you soon.